As we approach the year's end, we're taking stock of a tumultuous 12-month period that delivered a global energy crisis, a crypto implosion, and more Elon Musk headlines than you can shake a stick at. What's in store for 2023, you may ask? Now, here to discuss is Yahoo Finance's Myles Udland.
He knows everything. You know everything, don't you?
So where do we even begin?
Under Armour?
What's your S&P target?
2 more days, I'll get you that.
So we have seen some targets start to roll in. I mean, what's clearly on the docket as we get into, or at least have our sights set on 2023?
I mean, something I wrote about a couple weeks ago is that everybody's consensus forecast for next year is, well, first stocks go lower and then they eventually, I guess, go up to go flat, basically. And I know, Julie, you love talking about price targets. And I'm a lot more sympathetic to analysts than you are, just because, you know, everyone has a job. Their job is to make a prediction, tell their clients, here's what we think is going to happen, here are the reasons why. And you as the client are free to base your model on that, disagree, et cetera, to make a market. The sell side is in the service industry. They're not actually in the prediction industry. They're just in the, here's our best guess at what we think can happen. And I feel like I've noticed last few years, everyone does the 3 scenarios, bull, base, bear.
Yes.
And no longer do you really have people saying, I think I know where stocks are going to be, you know, in 12 months' time.
Listen, I'm not unsympathetic to people setting their targets. I get why they do it. I get that it's like part of the whole shtick, for lack of a better word.
It's their job.
It's their job to do it. And it's fun for us to talk about their targets and whether they got it right or wrong. And yes, they do change it during the year. I understand the utility of it. But to your point, like, I think direction makes more sense and is more relevant to investors than like that specific finite number.
Yeah. Destination and the path.
Yes, something like that.
To use Jay Powell's framework.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
That's
that,
exactly something like that. And you, so when you're looking at your themes, investing matters, I guess, is the one that's most relevant to what we're talking about. What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is investing is actually serious business. And the way that we go, let's go back to 2021. You have the whole meme trade, and it's basically a joke. It's like any idiot could do this. And honestly, from summer 2020 until October 2021, I guess November, we were, first starting to roll over in 2021. Kind of felt like that, right? I mean, you go from like Dave Portnoy picking stock tickers out of a basket, pretty much getting winners out of that. Everyone's getting rich in the stock market. Everyone's getting rich in crypto. We could talk about that in a second. And I think there was this sense coming out of a decade of the bull market, which was really driven by the West Coast, driven by VC thinking, driven by the top line size instead of the bottom line. And it said, all you need to do is find, we had multiple analysts on this show going back to 18, 19 who would say, well, all you need to really do is find the biggest TAM and pick someone who's going to grow into that TAM most aggressively, total addressable market. So find the biggest market, find the winner in the market. You can't go wrong. And I don't know, I'm looking at categories like food delivery, which is a pretty big market, and the winners in that market haven't exactly been winners for investors. And I think it's, it's a paradigm shift. It's cliche to say it, but it is very obviously a change in the investing environment, and one that moves from like everything's a joke, stocks only go up, to, well, I guess maybe this is a real business now.
You're also watching the VC community, Myles, and they've really had a really terrible year. Do they have a comeback year next year, especially where they could do some shopping, just given where valuations have been just hammered this year?
Well, I mean, the thing with the VC market is that they don't do shopping in the same way that someone who picks public equities can go do shopping. I mean, you are trying to work relationships. You're basically trying to do marketing. It's getting deal flow so that you can hopefully find the next Uber when it's in its seed, or you're doing its follow-on seed or whatever. And so I was looking at some data from PitchBook, which this is from 2021. This was the biggest winners of 2021 for VCs, companies that went public. Names in here include our friends at Coinbase, Rivian, Roblox, Robinhood, UiPath, Coupang. These are stocks that haven't exactly hit it out of the park, and these were the big wins from the VC community going back to last year. Now, someone can of course come and tell me that, if you invest in Series A, it doesn't matter that the company, let's take Robinhood, comes public, $40 billion valuation, $30 billion. Now it's 5, 10. The stock's at $8, $9. So that can be a winner if you invested when they were worth $500 million, sure. But the whole point of the business is we find the best companies, we bring them public, we change the paradigm. And yes, Robinhood has certainly changed. They have forced Fidelity to change how they think about their customers, which is, not nothing. But this stock chart doesn't exactly scream value creation for shareholders. And so, to your point, Saz, about going shopping, it's like, yeah, sure, you can go to Stanford's campus and go find a bunch of guys who want to start the next tech company. And maybe you end up with MongoDB or whatever, one of these big winners. But that's not really like going shopping. That's just working relationships and trying to find deal flow. It's not like going saying, oh, I love Under Armour and I think they're going to triple. Or, go to PayPal or whatever.
To be clear, I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying.
And you're not saying it. I'm not saying it.
All these companies, you go through Kathy Wood's list, right?
Yes.
All the stocks are down 90% this year. One of them is going to triple next year. So there's an opportunity there for someone, but that's not really the game that VCs are playing.
Or that ETF is playing.
Yeah.
You would need to pick the one.
I know, we open up the whole...
Yeah, but anyway.
I'm just saying, you
what
could
is
kind
high
of throw a
growth?
dart at Yahoo Finance and find stocks that are down 80% this year. And, that's so good luck to everybody out there. That's my take on 2022.
2023.
I'll get you my price target on Friday.
Thanks so much. Myles Udland joining us here on set. We appreciate it.